and welcome back to my channel, So Sweet Samuel. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Lindsay and I'm the maker of all things crafty. I love to knit, sew, embroider, you name it, I give it a go. And those of you that are returning, thank you very much for returning back to my channel today, especially after the horrendous video that I put out last week with my co-presenter Milo. You can see we're in a new location today. We're up in what was my original craft room up at the very top of the house in the loft, so Milo can't get up here, so I've left him downstairs with the radio on and with a treat, and he's quite happy. He's been for a walk this morning, so he's quite happy. So let's get on, hopefully with no interruptions. He doesn't know I'm up here. He won't be able to hear me, so we should be fine. So I think this is episode 7 of my videos, and a lot quicker than last time, isn't it? It's only just been over a week since I last uploaded. So I've got some finished objects, I've got some acquisitions, and I've got some birthday presents. It was my birthday on Wednesday, and I have been very spoilt with lots of crafty presents. I haven't brought them all up with me. I've just brought a selection which I'm going to show you, and I hope you like seeing them. So, finished objects. So let's start with some things that were almost finished last time. So you've seen these socks plenty of times, knit out of Bird Street yarn, Easter egg hunt for the speckled, and just a mini for the heel toe and cuff. So they were finished, and then I was in the process of finishing the pink version, same Bird Street yarn, Easter egg hunt, just with a pink contrast, which is just West Yorkshire Spinners pink yarn. And I think same yarn, but they do look very different with the different contrast. So there's a lovely little pile of socks there that can now go away in my drawer, ready to be worn. I cast on 64 stitches, and I think I used 2.75 needles or 2.5. I couldn't read it on the needle when I was looking the other day, so it's either 2.5. Oh yeah, it must be 2.5. Must be 2.5. So they're ready to go away. I think I've got 24 grams of this Easter egg hunt yarn left. So with the contrast of the lemon, do you think that'll be enough to make another pair but go really short? I don't want to start making them and then run out halfway. So I need to weigh a sock, I suppose, and see how much a sock actually weighs. I think when I had finished the blue pair, I worked it out that I would have enough, but I'll have to see. I will weigh a pair and see what we come out with. Talking of all things short, see, I went and had my hair cut last week, and I think it's okay. I mean, it's a bit messy now, a bit hot, so it's a bit messy, but yeah, all things short. Short socks, short hair. So I'm really pleased with those socks. As I said to you last week as well, I'd thrown away most of my, shop bought socks now. I'm just going for hand knit because they're so nice. I am going to have a go at knitting the no-show socks, which are like a trainery sock. I don't wear trainers, but I do wear like a canvas, almost like a tennis shoe. I wear that in the summer with my dresses, and I do need a sock or something on, so I brought some socks from Next, but I did wonder if I could use up scraps of yarn. We'll see. So 2 pairs of socks, another finished object, which was all but finished I think last time, wasn't it? I just had to put the bias, cut it and attach the bias binding and attach the buttons and bar tacks, and it was this beautiful lampshade cover from Mandy Shaw. So I finished this off on Friday, cut it to the right shape, attached the bias binding, attached 3 buttons and put 3 bar tacks on there, and that's been on the lamp in the dining room ever since. So this is a bi-monthly club that Mandy Shaw from Dandelion Designs runs. I think it's £26.99 every 2 months, and you get a kit to make a lampshade. I think all the ones I've had have all been red work, but I know there have been some applique ones as well. I've not had an applique one yet, but I've got a lot of them still to do. So I just need to get on and get those done now. I have got another one finished. I just again need to attach the bias binding, but I didn't bring that up to show you because it's Christmas one. And I know not everybody is as Christmas mad as I am. Okay, I can actually hear Milo barking downstairs. Never mind. The next thing I've finished is a little project from the Craft Pod. I've spoken about Craft Pod before, and that's a quarterly subscription box that you can sign up for the whole year, or you can just buy as it's released each quarter. I had an email yesterday to say that the summer craft box will be on sale in the next couple of weeks. Well, in the next week, I think it is. I've signed up. I've got a yearly subscription, so mine will just arrive in a couple of weeks' time. But I've just finished a project, and it's a little owl scissor keeper. So the little scissors go inside and they form the eyes of the owl. So just a little pair of gold scissors that you just pop in there, and they make the eyes of the owl. And it's just all made out of wool felt. There's his little wings. Oops, a little bit of embroidery on his tummy, and then blanket stitch around the edge. And he was really quick to make, and I think he's really effective. I am making another owl project, but I've designed that myself and I haven't started that yet. Okay, now obviously if you are watching this and you are in the UK, you will be aware that we have a very special celebration coming up at the beginning of June. Her Majesty the Queen is celebrating 70 years on the throne. She had her coronation in 1952, and it is 70 years now since she took to the throne. So I have been making some Jubilee themed projects. We are having a street party, so I've been making some bits and pieces. So the first thing I've made is some bunting. Now I brought a bunting panel from the Cheap Shop, which is a shop in Tiptree in Essex. Tiptree is famous for the jam, and they do have an online website called the Cheap Shop, and it is like a TARDIS in this shop. You walk in and you think, oh, I'm in the wrong shop, because you're greeted by sweets and birthday cards really. But then the shop just goes on and on and on, and every single craft imaginable is there, from cake making, doll's house, dressmaking, paper craft, knitting, crochet, everything. So this is my bunting I've made. So you can see I think it's going to be rather large. I'm just going back again, just showing you. So obviously there's quite a lot of Union Jacks, which I've mixed in with the other flags. So we've got crowns, there's the gold carriage. The Queen will be travelling in her gold carriage that she travelled in her actual coronation. Hearts with Union Jacks, Union Jack. Beautiful crown, another Union Jack, and another heart with a Union Jack, and a Union Jack. So that's lovely. I have cut out my dress. I think I cut that out last week, but this week, as I say, it's been my birthday and it's been really busy, so it's all cut out, it's all good to go. But the pattern I'm using, I didn't know whether to do another sew over it Betty dress, which is this one, which I've got lots of these and I do like it, sort of vintage style fit and flare dress, and I do love them. But I thought I'd do something a bit different. So it's a So La Di Da pattern, Can't think what the dress is, but you can either have 3/4 length sleeves or short sleeves. So I've gone for a short sleeve version because you can't tell in this country what the weather's going to be like, and it's got a sweetheart neckline. This will be the third one I've made, but this pattern, she holds your hand all the way through, don't get me wrong, but I've always got a bit confused on the pattern, so I'm going to tack it all together before I start sewing. I normally just pin, but I'm going to tack it all together. Also, I found that the size I cut out is slightly too big, but I think if I went down a size it might be too small. So I'm going to tack it all together and then I can try it on and actually see the fit. So hopefully I will get that done next week and have that to show you next time. Keeping on all things regal and royal, I have jumped on the knitted queen bandwagon and I have knitted little queen. So here is my queen, so please be upstanding for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This is a paid for pattern from Knitting by the Post. I think the pattern was only about £3.95. You can either have it sent to you as a printed pattern, or I do believe you can download it as a PDF and print it off yourself at home. It's a very simple knit. So her legs and her body are knit in one. Then you knit her head, it's knit separately. You knit her arms separately, and her coat, her hat and her hair is knit separately, and then her little nose and her lovely little handbag. And I've just given her a little button at her neck to be a brooch. It's not quite the right button. Just given her a little bouquet of flowers. I would like to have something on her hat, maybe some roses or something, but I couldn't find anything. But I think she's absolutely delightful. I posted her on Facebook yesterday and lots of people have commented on her. Somebody asked if I make them, and I said I would make one if they wanted me to. They asked how much and I said £20, and I've not heard back from that person, so I don't know whether that's too much money or I don't know. But the cost of yarn, time, sewing up, knitting toys, it's quite fiddly really, isn't it, because they're small and it's all the sewing up as well. But I think she is beautiful. I'm biased, but I think she's really cute. Don't know why I went for green really, because as you know, green is not my colour. I would normally go for something pink, but I thought green was quite a nice colour actually for her. In the pattern she's shown in yellow, so but I think she's nice. I love her little hat on top of her flowers. Love her little hat, and she knit up really quickly. I've never knit a Knitting by Post pattern before, but she's cute. There's lots of these floating around on social media that people have made, so she's cute. So put her down there. So now on to, shall we do acquisitions or shall we do birthday presents? I think we'll go birthday presents. So I was 21 and 27 years on Wednesday. I do not know where that time has gone. It's scary. Time is just flying away. It's just going so fast, isn't it? So birthday presents, I've been very spoilt for my birthday. So I think I said to you a couple of weeks ago, I'm Peter Rabbit mad. So my sister, one of my presents from my sister was a lovely Peter Rabbit bag. So this is going to obviously, I think this is going to house my Clarendon sweater. Didn't bring that up with me actually today, but I have done some more of that and that's looking really nice. So in here, let's have a look. So from my lovely friend Kay, I got the pattern and fabric to make Luna's pyjamas. So there's the picture, and this is the fabric Kay chose for me. So just little flowers on a stripy background. I've had these patterns before from Cool Crafting, and you get everything in here. You get the pattern, you get the instructions and you get all the fabrics. So all I need to do is cut them out basically, and Luna will have a nice pair of pyjamas. So that's lovely. Oh, sorry, put this on my lap. Also from Kay, I got some yarn to make some socks. This is 75% wool, superwash, and 25% polyamide, and it is paint box yarn, and the colourway is Fair Isle Happy Days, and it's got this blue bit in it, and I didn't have my words then, and apparently if you knit that bit you get a blue cast on edge and then you start knitting your sock. But I think that's really nice. Don't know if that blue bit is loose. Oh no, I can see more blue. So I will knit these up at some point. Pretty, lots of different shades of pinks, so sort of a dark pink, a mid pink and a light pink. That's really pretty. Also from Kay, we've got a Mandy's Shore project and Dandelion Designs, and it is to make a vintage pearly heart brooch kit, and you get all the materials that you need. So I've got felt, I've got a brooch back, I've got some cotton embroidery thread, which is the 6-stranded thread that you don't separate, and all the pearly buttons. I've not seen this one before. She does do, or she has done, a pearly bracelet with buttons, but that's really pretty, and I think that'll look quite nice on my dress. Go on a dress or on a bag. Says on a coat, jacket, or a handbag. Well, you can put it anywhere, can't you? Okay, and then 2 other things. So from Kay's mum, the lovely Edna, who I know watches my channel. She got me these lovely needles. So these are Chalgo stainless steel needles, and they are, oh, I think they are, no they're not. I thought they were the one longer needle, one short needle, but they're not. Oh, or is that one? I don't know. So we've got a 9-inch circular 2mm and a 9-inch 2.5, so just right for the old sock knitting. But they're lovely, so I should give those a go. And what I love about these, one thing I love about these, they have been laser marked with the size apparently. So I don't know where that is, whether that's on the needle, because I always struggle to know which size needle I'm using. I try and put them back into the bag each time, but I do struggle to know which size needle. So thank you very much, Edna, for those. They are lovely. Just have a sip of my tea, otherwise it's going to go cold and it'll be horrible. You can look at this while I'm sipping my tea. You don't need to watch me drink a cup of tea. Look at this lovely. So I have been going on and on and on for weeks, months, that I wanted some lemon wool, and my friend Sue asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I found her this from Lay Family Yarn. There's no name to it, it's one of a kind, but it is part of the Ironbridge collection, and it's this lovely pale lemon with sort of specks of black and specks of slightly darker lemon through there, and then a darker lemon contrast. Isn't that beautiful? So that will obviously be socks. I will get a couple of pairs out of that. Beautiful. I just love that. So thank you very much, Sue, for that. Now, acquisitions. You're in for a treat. One of them, you are in for a serious treat. Let me just drink my tea. So one thing I bought, this arrived last night. It's not very exciting, but it is, let me see if I can move this. It's a hanger to hang embroideries on. So it's got the little clips so you can hang your embroideries on there. So I'm going to use, I did buy one before, do you remember, for the Stitchy Doodles Advent stitch along, but it didn't come with the clips. So this one has come with the clips. I brought this for something else, but it's wider than I thought it was going to be. Well, no, the width doesn't bother me, but I thought these would be, you know, you could slide them up and down. I don't want much, do I? So I'm going to use this for the Stitchy Doodles one, Stitchy Doodles one, the Advent stitch along. And then the one I brought, which has got the bar, I'm going to turn all my Secret Society panels from last year into wall hangings, because they were all had the month, the year sewn on them. So I'm going to back them all and put little loops on them all so I can hang them on the rod that goes through the other one, and then I can display those. This year's Secret Society is again meant to be a quilt, and it's an alphabet sampler quilt of all things to do with sewing and crafting. And if I made it into a quilt, it would just live in the cupboard, never see the light of day. So a friend of mine, she's pen pal and she watched my channel, Gina, she had a really good idea of turning it into bunting. So that's actually, I hope Gina doesn't mind, but that's what I'm going to do with my one as well. I'm going to turn it into bunting, and then it can be displayed nicely. And I don't know if I said to you last time, well, I know I've said in previous videos that I wasn't signing up for this New Year's Secret Society, but I did. I was adamant I wasn't going to sign up for it, because I said, no, I've got so much stuff, I'm not signing up for this, can't afford it, blah, blah, blah. And we got an email maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I didn't even read the email. It just said, click here to sign up. And I was like, wham, click, done, signed up. And I text Kay and just said, I think I just said, whoops. And she knew straight away what I'd done, but I can't resist it. I just can't help myself. Somebody on the group said she wasn't going to sign up, but she couldn't miss out on getting her little red spotty bag every month from Mandy Shaw, and she did say maybe she could just ask Mandy to send her an empty spotty bag and she'd pay for the postage. I don't know if I would be happy just getting an empty spotty bag, but maybe you could just wean yourself off slowly. But this one this year is going to be nursery rhymes, and the history behind the nursery rhymes, because some of the nursery rhymes are quite dark, aren't they? You know, if you actually stop and listen to the words that are being said in a nursery rhyme, they're quite dark, so the origins behind them. So I do believe, if you are not a member of the Secret Society, because it has been released for a couple of weeks, I do believe you can now sign up for the Secret Society. So if you go to Dandelion Designs and search for Secret Society, I do believe you might be able to sign up, and then you'll get your first package of beautifulness in June, and it's worth it. And I am going to keep up with it this year. I'm going to iron them on and do them as they arrive. There, I've said it here live on So Sweet Samuel. I've said it, I'm going to do it. She says. Okay, next. Now again, I wasn't going to sign up for this, but then my friend called Kay, who is such an enabler, saw her on Monday and we just mentioned it, and then we both ended up signing up for it. It is the new Stitchy Doodles stitch along. It's the summer stitch along 2022. It starts on Wednesday the 18th of May, so if you want to sign up, you can still sign up for this. There are different options. You can either sign up and get the printed panel and all the threads, or you can sign up and just get the printed panel, or you can sign up and get a PDF You print it out yourself, and then using a light box or whatever you have, you then draw that onto your fabric, and it will be a 10-week stitch along. Or you can do all of those options and do a 3-week stitch along. And if you do a 3-week stitch along, I believe you just stitch this centre panel with the bee and the sunflower. So we signed up for this again, and this arrived yesterday. This arrived yesterday, and we both only signed up to have the panel because we both got enough embroideries. Oh, bear with, she says. I can demonstrate. And then I won't lose my backing either, will I? I can clip this on here, and I can clip this on here. See? So this is just the panel on linen, and then you get a bit of calico as a stabilizer at the back, and it's all printed on, and then you just embroider it. So as it is a stitch along, every Wednesday, not sure of the time, probably by midday I would think, but I don't know. Every Wednesday she will release a part of the stitch along that you can do. It's a 10-week stitch along, and there is also a 3-week stitch along. The 3-week stitch along is just this centre panel, so you wouldn't have any of this. You would just buy a panel that's just got that centre panel. I've had them before, and I won't surprise you in what I'm going to say. I've never kept up with a stitch along. The only stitch along I've sort of kept up with was the Advent stitch along, because that was a daily stitch along and they were tiny little bits. But this year I really want to try and keep up with the stitch along. So I've only got the panel. You get a nice colour picture, and then I've also got suggestion or the colours that she is going to use. Nicola is going to use these colours. So when I finish recording this and I've done all my jobs and everything, I'm going to go out to the summer house and I'm going to see if I can find these colours or as near to it. I should be able to. I've got plenty, and the embroidery police are not going to come and arrest me if I don't have exactly the right colours. I'm not scared of the crafting police. So as I say, it starts next Wednesday, the 18th of May. If you're watching this years down the line, you will still be able to buy these on her website, but obviously it won't be a stitch along, but you will still be able to buy the panels or the kit. And then every week on a Wednesday, she will show you how to stitch the different parts with full instructions and photos. And she really does do full instructions and lovely clear photos. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. This, although it's a Wednesday project, and I probably will start it on the Wednesday, I'm also thinking that will make quite a nice little project to take to dancing on a Saturday morning. Something I can work on there. So I've got, nearly 3 hours, well, definitely 2 hours, 2.5 hours of just sitting there. So I definitely could get quite a bit done. So actually, I will probably start it next Wednesday, and I will come on and show you what I've done next time. But I am thinking this will also be a Saturday morning project. I think it's quite a good idea. Okay, next up. Now, if you are watching this from a different country, and I don't think anybody is, and you haven't received your Cool Crafting Valentines Surprise Box, I suggest you stop now. But I really don't think there's anybody watching this from abroad. So I said to you last time I had received my Valentine box, but I wasn't allowed to reveal anything on social media. But I now have it, and I'm going to show you the contents. And I think I did say to you last week, it was £50, which is quite a lot of money, and you pay for it up front. So you order this on Valentine's Day, and it only arrived a couple of weeks ago. Did it arrive the end of April. I know I was ill, and myself and Samuel were poorly, so I know I just looked at it and put it to one side. So, and I haven't really looked at it since, because I get scared. I get scared that I'm not good enough to make these things. And I mean, I've made the rabbits. I've made so many of these rabbits, and I've made clothes for them, but I do get scared that I'm not good enough to make them. So it will just sit on the side for ages. And the wedding has happened in Lunar Lapping Land, but I think my two might have quite a long engagement and maybe get married in the winter. But anyway, so I'm going to show you the box and what's inside. So the first thing you're greeted with is Mr. and Mrs. Alfie and Pepper, and the wedding was taking place on the 5th of May 2022. Now, are you seeing that in reverse, or are you seeing that the right way round? Now, always with Lunar Lapping, if you buy her books, and her book number 4 is up for pre-order now, you always get a lovely book with the story. So you get a note from Grace, who is the daughter, and I think she helps to write the stories, and then a note from Sarah Peel, who is the designer. So this is Mr. and Mrs. Alfie and Pepper. So you get a little message from Grace and Sarah. Then it tells you how Alfie rekindled his romance with Pepper, how they met. It's a lovely story. And then you're shown what the bridesmaid's dress will look like. It's pretty. So I'll show you the fabric in a minute, I think. And then you're told how to make the dress. I'm not going to stay on that, obviously, because I've paid for this. Get a story. You meet the baker who's going to make the wedding cake, because we need a wedding cake at a wedding, obviously. And Joanna Jones works at Cool Crafting, and obviously a rabbit's wedding, there is only one sort of cake you can have, and it is carrot cakes. There's a recipe there for a carrot cake. There's some information here about the greatest love stories ever told. You've got Cleopatra and Mark Antony, Edward VIII and Wallis Simpson, and Pierre and Marie Curie. So they're love stories, and you've got some pictures of the happy couple. And then I've got the wedding dress, which is beautiful. And again, to the pattern, all in detail. I don't know why I'm panicking, but... And then you've got a bit more of the story about their romance, how she's feeling. Luna couldn't believe her brother's getting married. So Alfie is Luna's little brother. Some romantic books and films that you could listen to or watch. The different flowers. So in my bouquet I had lilies, which means white lilies, purity. Roses, I'll always remember. And then you've got Alfie's morning suit, and the instructions to make his suit, and her instructions. If you've seen the Lunar Lapping patterns, you know how detailed the instructions are. And then other people's takes. So other people have already had their rabbits getting married over the years. And then the wedding photographer. Obviously we need a wedding photographer. So then I'll show you what we get inside. So we get the fabric for Alfie's suit. So we've got a large check and a small check for his trousers. That's his trousers. No, it's not. That's his trousers. And that's his jacket. I'm just looking at the pictures. Then we get that's to make his little waistcoat, a little stripy fabric for his waistcoat. Then what is this? Sorry. And then this is the bridesmaid's dress, which is Liberty, and that also I think makes his cravat as well. Lovely Liberty fabric. I've got some white, which I presume is something to do with the bride. Some, is this organza? Some sort of cream with gold seats, gold sparkles. I don't know how well you can see that. And then some lace for the wedding dress, beautiful. And then you get ribbons and elastic and diddy buttons. You get all the patterns. There's 2 new cards that you get as well, and there's also a piece of felt, and I don't know what this felt is for, but it is the right size to make a character. So I don't know. Oh, that is for, I've just seen, is the underbodice of her dress. Lovely. So, but I don't know. I think we've obviously been given a bit of felt to make pepper. Looking at it now, that is the colour of pepper. So I think you get the fabric to make pepper. And her ears, sorry, useless, aren't I? I think her ears are made from a bit of the Liberty, yeah, and her ears are made from a bit of the Liberty fabric. So you, yes, you get the fabric as well to make pepper. But oh my goodness, at Christmas they released the Eric the polar bear, and I didn't buy the box because I didn't know what to expect. But honestly, if she releases another character for Christmas as a surprise, I think if I can afford it, I will buy it, because the time and effort that has gone into this is just fantastic. You have to agree. And to also get the felt to make another character is just lovely, isn't it? So I will make them. I don't know when. I won't make them. I won't make them in the next couple of weeks. I've got 2 weeks and it's this half term from school, and I need to get my Jubilee dress made. So maybe after Samuel goes back to school for the final term of year 5, maybe I'll make them then. Maybe I just need to be brave and make them, because I know I can make them, but I just get scared. I get scared, which is silly, isn't it? Because I know I can make them. But anyway, that's all I've got to show you today. So it's a lot shorter video today, but I hope you've enjoyed what I've brought to you today. Obviously it's been a lot calmer without Milo, hasn't it? I've not been running off every 5 minutes to sort him out. I tell you, when I finished recording last week, he was a pain, wasn't he? The minute I finished, he went straight to sleep. Caused mayhem and then went straight to sleep. They say never work with animals and children. Seriously. So what are my plans? So I need to tack my dress together. I might try and do that today. My head is very sore today. I need to go and have some morphine, and then I might tack my dress together. I want to make Luna's pyjamas. That's soon. I've got to go and find all the threads to make, put my teeth in. Go and find all the threads to be ready to make the, to start the stitch along. And I need to be brave to start making this as well, don't I? So anyway, thank you very much for stopping by and joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed what I've shown you. Thank you very much for coming back to see me again, and hopefully I'll be back in a few weeks' time to show you what I've made. Stay safe and happy crafting, everyone. Take care. Bye.